All right. Hey, how you guys doing today? This is your host, Sonia, the Quantum Liberator, liberating you one subconscious pattern at a time. And today we're going to go over the performer slash prove yourself pattern. Now, this is a pattern that I definitely had, especially, to be honest, I had this my whole life when I got into sports. And then later on, when I joined the Marine Corps, I was always in performing and proving myself. I always had to perform. I always had to prove myself. And the thing is it was a never ending cycle. You're never satisfied when you're always having to perform and you're always having to prove yourself. And so if you feel like you've always had to prove yourself, this is why. So this pattern gets praised in society, but it's actually exhausting your system. And what it is basically when we were young, we learned that love always has to be earned. We learned that our worth is tied to our performance, especially if we were young and they were like, oh, you got to be a good boy or girl in order to get this, or you got to be a good boy or girl in order to get that. And they basically made love transactional for us. And this is not to blame our parents. This is just to become aware of the pattern, because they didn't know what they didn't know. And back then, there wasn't all this information out. And so people have passed on things over time and just didn't even realize it. So now that people are becoming aware of these patterns, it's time to actually do the work, not blame anybody, but become aware of the patterns and why we do them. It's basically being able to name your own patterns, why I did what I did. And when you're able to do that, you're actually able to start rewiring into a secure attachment. And so basically your worth equaled performance. Your nervous system was actually wired for pressure your whole life. My whole life, my nervous system was wired for pressure, and I didn't even realize it. And so it shows up in like overworking. If you're that person that, always shows up early, leaves late, doesn't spend time with your family because you're constantly working, or maybe you don't have a family and you're just constantly working. I was single for a lot of my time in the Marine Corps, but I kept myself busy. And so that is a overperforming, prove yourself type of pattern. And it's not who you truly are. So it can be rewired. So basically you have difficulty resting. You always feel like you have to do something. You have to be somewhere. You have to do something, like constantly feeling like you have to do something, or everything is going to slip away from you. Never feeling like you're enough. Never. There's never a time that you feel like you're enough. You have to keep shooting for this, keep shooting for that. And people think it's like, oh, it's because I want to be successful. But why? Start asking yourself these deep questions. Why do I want to be successful? Is it because I need to prove myself? Is it because it's tied to my worth? Because you are worthy no matter what. Like, you were born into this world taken care of, and we are meant to be taken care of no matter what. Like, we don't have to hustle. We don't have to do all that. And I was big into that. I was like, okay, I grew up poor. My parents, we didn't get to do the things I wanted to do. And I was seeing other kids, traveling and doing all these things that I wanted to do. And so I wanted to be successful. I didn't want to be the person that couldn't go places I wanted to go and do the things that I wanted to do. So I thought I had to work hard in order to do that. But that is a nervous system. That is a belief that we hold. And like I say about beliefs, is basically the brain is wired to believe whatever it is that we've taken on and that we believe from others. We believe it. And so we have to start opening our minds more to be able to believe more of ourselves, because these are all limiting beliefs. Like, we are constantly breaking past limiting beliefs, and that's the thing, is just breaking past them and knowing that things, we are able to, I can be successful. I can make money without having to work so hard, because that's what I'm doing right now. My nervous system, I've been able to basically train the lack vibration out of me. That's another pattern that we're going to go over later. So I don't even want to go into that right now. But the performer, improve yourself pattern, it's like I still see people, and I can see it really clearly now because I've worked on mine, and I don't do it anymore. I don't feel like I need to prove myself anymore. I don't have to perform. Even doing these videos it's because I'm passionate about this stuff, and I love talking about it. So it's really for myself and whoever it can help out there. And so I'm not out here to prove myself. I'm not out here to convince anyone of anything. I'm just here speaking my truth. And so I've been able to see a huge difference in my life in rewiring these patterns. And so I'm just wanting to put it out there for whoever this may stumble upon, because there are no coincidences, okay? As much as you might want to believe that there are coincidences, there are no coincidences. Everything is intelligently orchestrated for our good. And I don't even want to, I know there's bad things that happen to people, but everything is intelligently orchestrated for our good. And everything bad that has happened, we have always been able to create something good that has come from that. We've always had that choice, you know? And so, all right. So the cost, the cost of overperforming and proving yourself all the time is basically always, you can be successful, but you're not going to have fulfillment. That's where, if you are successful and you don't have fulfillment, this is what pattern you've been in. It's a nervous system pattern. It's not who you truly are, and it can be rewired. So emotional burnout, identity tied to achievement. So when your identity, and I've seen this in a lot of people too, when your identity, I actually was dating a guy for a little bit. You know, I was kind of just getting to know him, and I realized that his identity was so tied to his achievement. You know, all these degrees that he's getting and all these things that he can do. When I told him that I was just wanting to get, I liked you for who you are. I'm wanting to get to know you. I actually like spending time with you, not all these identities that you've tied yourself to. But he got offended. He got offended when I said that I liked him for him. Because I guess it just downplayed. That's the thing. I didn't even mean to downplay anything that he's done. Like, okay, yes, it's great that you have these degrees and all that stuff, and you've achieved all these things. But when your identity is so tied to it, like, it's just not a good, like, it's never going to come out. You're never going to be fulfilled. Never. So you can have all these achievements and all these things, but if you can't separate yourself from the achievements, then you're going to have a hard time. So you don't have to earn what you already are. You are worthy. And I had to learn this in myself because I didn't know I was worthy of just existing and getting paid to exist. I didn't know that. Because I grew up thinking money was hard to earn, and you had to scrape by, and you had to hustle hard to be able to make all this money. But no, that's not true. That's a belief. And once you break through that belief, you'll be surprised at what you can call into your life. And so here's just a body awareness to have. So what happens in your body when you're not achieving anything? What do you feel? What do you feel in your body when you're not achieving anything? Do you feel that vibration and that need, like, I have to do something, I got to do something? Because I used to have that. And I started to become more aware of the things that were happening in my body with these patterns, because it's tied to that. So when you start to be more aware of and get to know your own body, Like, okay, I feel this vibration in my body, or this contraction in my body, whatever it is that you feel in your body when you feel like you have to achieve something. That's what you have to pay attention to, and then start asking yourself the deep questions. If you have to journal, say it out loud. For me, I've journaled and I've said things out loud to myself, because our body is always listening to us. All the cells of our body are listening. So whenever we're thinking and saying negative things about ourselves, our body listens and takes it on. So we have to speak life into our own body. And when we speak it out loud, the vibration of our voice actually pierces it even stronger. And we're able to have faster change. And I've seen this in myself. Everything I say is because I've experienced myself. And so this is where we shift from performance into embodiment. If I ever feel like I have to do something, I don't do it. Period. If there's a time that I start to feel like I have to do something, I don't do it and I relax, because I've shifted myself out of that prove myself mode to where if I do something, it's going to be because I'm passionate about it and I'm having fun with it, and I don't feel like I have to do it. And so that is the lesson for this pattern. So I'm going to stop the recording there, and you guys have a great rest of your day.